Hey guys, welcome to our channel. For today's video, I'm gonna be talking about 4 things you have to consider before you go here to Canada as an international student. So if you're interested to know about that, just keep on watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please do so. Please consider subscribing. So let's do this. Kung na-notice nyo, tingin ako ng tingin dito sa baba. Meron kasi akong kodigo. I want to make it easy for me and for you din para tuloy-tuloy yung discussion. So, the first thing you have to consider before you go here sa Canada as an international student is yung program na pipiliin nyo. For me, this is really important for you to think about it, give it much thought, kasi ang hirap na ginagawa mo yung isang bagay, tapos at the end of the day, na-feel mo na, ay, hindi pala to para sa akin. Hindi pala ako makakapag-work sa field na to. When you go here kasi sa Canada, you're gonna be spending money, not just little, but much money. So, for me, bago pa lang kayo mag-proceed to applying and going here sa Canada as an international student, you have to know exactly what you really want to do in life, your future goals, and kung ano ba talaga yung program na gusto nyong gawin. And it should match your future goals. Pwede ding it can be in line dun sa current nyo na ginagawa para maging level up na lang siya para sa inyo. And you also have to think about the budget, kung pasok ba yun sa inyo, kasi may mga bagay, like for example, may program nga tayong gusto pero hindi pala siya pasok sa budget. So sometimes you have to compromise, and we don't want naman din na pipiliin mo yung course or program na cheap lang kahit hindi mo naman yun gustong gawin in the future, or feeling mo hindi mo na nakikita yung sarili mo na ginagawa yung ganong klaseng trabaho para lang makapunta sa Canada and para lang makapag-enroll. Just so, kung meron man kayong plano mag-PR, makapag-proceed kayo mag-PR. So, number 1 rule, you have to think about your budget but don't compromise it by taking a course hindi nyo naman gusto. So, yeah, number 1 to consider program. Number 2 na you have to consider before you go here as an international student, school naman. School is very important kasi para sa part na gusto nyong maging permanent resident dito sa Canada, importante na makakuha kayo ng designated learning institution na school and can support you for your documents sa application nyo ng postgraduate working permit. DLI or designated learning institution, they are like certified by the government na mag-take ng mga international student for the reason na probably because of their accreditations. And yung postgraduate working permit naman, importante to if you're planning to be a PR para ma-extend yung visa ninyo. How PGWP works, it's like an extension visa. Pag nag-aral kayo dito sa Canada, for example 1 year, binibigyan kayo ng government ng extension visa of 1 year then for you to be able to work here under temporary resident visa pa rin, pero instead of student permit, will be working permit, open work permit. Malaking tulong siya kasi kung familiar kayo sa process ng pagpunta sa Canada, para kayo makapag-apply ng permanent residence, most of the time, the government requires you to have an experience here sa Canada as worker. And hindi lang siya basta typical na work, you have to be under a national occupancy code. NOC code, that is like the category of the jobs here in Canada, and they require you to have 0, A, or B. So, para maka-apply ka for permanent residency, you usually need to have like 1 year of work experience under those national occupancy code 0AB. So, kung nag-student ka lang dito at hindi na-extend yung visa mo, so mapapauwi ka agad sa Pilipinas or mapapauwi ka agad sa home country ninyo. So, wala kang chance na magkaroon ng work experience for you to qualify for an express entry because hindi mo na-extend yung visa mo as a worker dito sa Canada. So, yun, kailangan nyo yun kapag gusto nyo na mag-apply ng permanent residency. Recently, may mga program si Canada na ina-allow yung international student to apply immediately para sa permanent residency, even though kakagraduate lang nila. Pero they just recently did that option for permanent residency. I think because of the pandemic, kasi nag-limit sila ng mga immigrants, and so for them to get back to the numbers that they need or their target, inallow nila na yung mga international student after they graduate mag-apply agad for PR. Pero it changes kasi yung Canada, they change their regulations every time. Ang consistent so far na we see is yung work experience for you to be able to apply for permanent residency. If your goal is to go here sa Canada to be a permanent resident, you have to keep in mind that you should extend your visa under PGWP. So yun, importante yung school because you need the PGWP for you to apply for PR. It should be under DLI. So kapag ibang school yun at hindi DLI, hindi ka magka-qualify sa PGWP. And then, of course, kailangan yung i-consider kung saan talaga kayong school papasok dahil importante yun, holistic na magiging experience ninyo dito sa Canada. Yung support na makukuha nyo sa school ninyo is very important para mag-succeed kayo sa academic life ninyo as well as pagiging new sa lugar na pinupuntahan ninyo. Yun, just check for reviews, and most of the schools here in Canada have their websites, so you can check their accreditations para malaman kung yan ba talaga yung perfect school para sa inyo. And the third thing you have to consider before you go here sa Canada as an international student is the province. So, I was thinking about like putting weather or putting job opportunities as something you should consider when you go here as a student. Pero just for me to give you like a specific talaga, as in isa na lang, nilagay ko na lang province. So, kung hindi pa kayo familiar sa Canada, the kind of government of Canada is federal monarchy. So, Canada is divided in different province. Kung ang United States is divided into states, Canada is divided into province, and every province, they have like their certain rules and regulations. And very important, kaya ko siya nalagay dito as one of the things you have to consider because choosing a province is really critical sa magiging success niya din sa pagpunta dito sa Canada. May you be thinking about being a permanent resident eventually or just studying and just enjoying yung student life ninyo dito. So, why do I include this? First, you have to consider about province is kung meron kayong support na ma-receive dun sa place na pupuntahan ninyo. Importante na, hindi siya essential, pero importante na meron kayong kakilala dito sa Canada. Kasi, like for example, here in British Columbia and specifically here in Victoria, the housing market is so hard to get into. So, if you're trying to find a place to rent, sobrang magiging helpful kung may kakilala kayo kasi they can check yung place na available na pwede nyong matirahan. They can check it beforehand kasi may mga scammers din dito. And kung may relative kayo dito, pwede kayong makituloy for a meantime and then just find your own place eventually. That will be a really helpful thing for sure. And another thing you have to consider under province is yung weather, kasi you'll get the best out of all those 4 seasons. Kasi so far, experiencing fall, winter, and right now spring. I already experienced pala din summer because when we got here it's August and it's summer. Very distinct yung weather dito. Like kapag winter talaga, kapag summer talaga, spring, fall, as in you'll get what you are like expecting. Ganun yung Canada. So comparing sa Pilipinas, na we only have like summer and tag-ulan, dito talagang the change of weather is so fascinating. At the same time, it's a little bit harsh. Kasi sabi nila, comparing to other countries like Australia or New Zealand, Canada is so cold. And I think I must agree kasi like right now, we're living in Victoria. They said that this is the warmest place in all of Canada, but it's still cold. So just imagine going to other places and not thinking about the province that you'll go to and you're from a tropical country. That will be really hard. That will be really hard to adjust talaga. So one thing you have to consider should be the province where you're going. Another thing under province is job opportunities. Of course, when you go here sa Canada, you want to be successful. Who doesn't want to, right? So kung nag-aaral ka na dito, kung you're planning to go back home, you're allowed to work here kasi part-time eh. So why not go to a place that has a lot of job opportunities, and why not do a job if you still have like an idea to go back to your country. At least meron kang experience, diba? At kung hindi naman, katulad nga na nasabi ko kanina about having postgraduate working permit, applying for permanent residency under a national occupancy code, kailangan yung i-consider yung province na pupuntahan ninyo, dahil the lack of job opportunities, it will make it hard for you to apply for permanent residence. So make sure na kung ano man yung province na pupuntahan ninyo, may trabaho doon. And hanggat sa maaari, kung kaya nyo nang ma-research agad-agad kung meron ba doon yung NOC 0AB na tina-target ninyo, i-go nyo na. Because it's better be prepared than not, right? Na nandito na kayo and you spent all the money, you already enrolled to school, you're already starting school, and then suddenly you can't find a proper job that will lead you to your future goals or whatever goals you have na in line or you're seeing or you're foreseeing in the future. So ayun, job opportunities, check. Keep that in mind. And another thing about thinking or deciding about the province where you should live is the PR pathway. Okay, so I want to go there sa Canada, I just want to study. You don't need to think about this. But if you want, or your goal is to also be a permanent resident of Canada, you should think about where province you should go, kasi there are certain province that is really easy na mag-apply ng PR, and there are province na sobrang hirap. And why so? Bakit iba-iba? Sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, Canada, it has different province and each province has like different regulations. So they also post streams, as they call it, or programs for permanent residents. There's like a specific stream, which is usually the PNP, Provincial Nominee Program, and the Canadian Experience class. But other streams, may mga specific yung kada province. Like for example, dito sa BC, British Columbia, meron ditong BCPNP Tech, which is you can apply for permanent residency if you have a job under tech, which is like yung mga animators, media, like computer science, mga IT, those people, they can apply for permanent residency with having a job experience at least a year kapag dito sila sa BC. While other province, they have Atlantic Immigration Pilot, which is that covers New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, those place, Atlantic region. And meron din silang criteria how they get people para dun sa province nila under PR. So, yun, kailangan yan i-consider. Kasi, like for example, you already have like an experience under this job and you think na si British Columbia merong stream para dun sa job na yung ginagawa mo na. So, it will be easier for you na makapag-apply ng PR agad-agad other than going to other province and then waiting for a year or so, trying a different job just for you to qualify for PR. Diba? So yun, you have to consider that. And of course, yung cost of living then, iba-ibang province, iba-ibang cost of living. Cost of living varies. Like for example, dito sa British Columbia, sorry, ito puro BC yung example ko kasi dito kami. Dito sa BC, merong tax, GST, and PST. So, dalawa yung tax dito if you're gonna buy stuff like mga gamit. Sa food, GST lang meron. Pero sa mga gamit like ref, there's like PST and there is GST. So parang doble yung tax dito. While other places like they said, Alberta, they only have PST, which is, I think that is the federal tax. Yung GST is a provincial tax. So I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Comment down below if you have any idea what are those tax. But what I know is there's two taxes that we pay here in British Columbia, GST and PST, and some other province they only have PST. And yeah, with the cost of living, like rent, housing market, hotspot ngayon yung Vancouver and Toronto, which are two main cities here in Canada. So, if you are like planning to go to a place na gusto nyo maliit lang yung magagastos ninyo, kasi malaki na yung ginastos nyo sa school, you really have to identify which province talaga kayo pupunta kasi it varies. Yung cost of living can go from super high to may mga places na mabababa lang yung cost of living. So yeah, just research. And then another thing about province, last na to, ang dami kong sinabi about province. This can be a whole new topic, right? So comment down below kung gusto nyo ma-expand tong mga pinagsasabi ko, comment lang kayo. Baka magawa natin ng video. So another thing about province is the community. So why did I include this? For me, community sa isang province is very important. Kasi of course, you don't want to be going to a place and then being discriminated. Gusto mo na included ka. You feel like you belong, right? So, with communities, you have to check kung what they speak, their culture ng mga tao na nandun, kung ano ba yung pwede nyo mabili sa supermarket. For example, like, do they sell foods that you eat? Sometimes those little things. So that's why you have to consider your province. And minsan may mga places din dito sa Canada na there is like a language barrier. Especially, like I think a good example will be Quebec. Because a lot of people there are speaking French. So it's really important that you research where you go so that you know what to expect before going there. Rather than experiencing it firsthand agad-agad, nasashock kayo, research yung community. Kung okay ba, kung low crime rate ba, kung ano ba yung sinasalita nila, yung mga ganun. I've mentioned, I know for sure na kung nag-isip kayo ng program, kung nag-isip kayo ng school, and kung nag-isip kayo ng province, probably yung cost is nasa isip nyo na. But I still included it in the last because I want to mention some things about it. So aside from those 3 things, you have to make sure or give specific attention to this, which is yung financial part ng lahat ng planning ninyo, which is yung cost, because this will be a really big factor sa magiging experience nyo dito sa Canada. Ito yung makakapag-determine kung magiging enjoyable ba siya, kung magiging mahirap ba siya, kung chill lang siya. Kasi having enough money is great. Having much more than what you need is much more greater. But having less of it, that will be a little bit hard. Magiging shaky yung experience ninyo because kung hindi mako-cover ng cost lahat ng mga plans ninyo, medyo mahirap humingi ng tulong. Exchange rate right now from PH to Canada, I guess is around 40. So just imagine asking for your parents to give you some money, not being prepared, not knowing anybody, and you need some money, right? So one thing for sure na you have to consider before you go here sa Canada is yung gagastasin ninyo. So under cost, you should think about the housing. Kasi ayan, housing, food, tuition. Okay, sinabi ko na, housing, food, tuition. Kasi itong tatlong to, yung pinakamalaking gagastusan ninyo as being a student. So, for the housing, rent here in Canada ranges from, for our place, around 800 to 2,500. Siguro mga 1,700 for a bachelor's. Minsan one bed na yon. It can go up to 2,500 for a 1-bedroom apartment. So, with that cost, you should be prepared for that. Kasi, aside from that, you have to spend for the food as well. You have to spend for your tuition. So, for the food, experience namin ni Angelo, siguro for 1 month, kaya yung 300. Kasi dalawa pala kami, no? Pag isa ka lang, siguro mga around $200 to $300. Parang okay na yun na budget for food. And for your tuition fee, yun kasi yung isa sa pinaka malaki din na gastos. Varies school to school, program to program. But tuition fee usually is 15K or 15 Canadian dollars per year. Or minsan, meron akong naririnig na parang meron atang 16 Canadian dollars for 2 years na yon na program. So, yeah, cost is very important to consider before going or pushing for it. So, after you think about the program, the school, and the province, you have to know the specific cost ng mga bagay-bagay bago kayo mag-proceed to the next step, which is yung application ninyo. Kasi, as I've mentioned nga, yun yung makakapag-determine kung maging okay ba yung buhay nyo dito sa Canada, kung kailangan nyo bang kumayod, how many hours can you need to kayod or you have to work para makover yung expenses ninyo. And, yun yung makakapag-sabi sa inyo kung meron pa bang matitira, dun sa sinasahod ninyo, anong trabaho yung kailangan nyong kunin. But, yun nga, kung katulad na na-mention ko kanina, wag nyong i-compromise yung program ninyo just for you to save. Kasi nga importante din pag-isipan nyo mabuti yung program ninyo. Pero, at some point, cost din is very essential to think about. Kasi wala namang tutulong kapag kayo lang mag-isa. So, kailangan din na mapaghandaan siya. With the budget sa pagiging international student, I can do a separate vlog for that. I can give you like an idea about our usual spending so that meron kayong idea how much will you need. But yeah, cost is very important. Kailangan siyang consider. And under that, kailangan din pag-isipan kung saan nyo pala siya kukunin. Dapat these things na you have to consider and under cost, since mag-a-apply kayo ng student permit, after deciding all this, you have to have a solid proof ng financial capability ninyo. So, yeah, under cost, you have to find a solid source of fund. And under cost, you have to think about the housing, food, and tuition, school miscellaneous fees, and other fees para mag-survive dito sa Canada. So yun guys, that's the 4 things you have to consider before you go here to Canada as an international student. Sana nabigyan ko kayo ng idea how to decide if you're still on the process of deciding kung pupunta kayo dito sa Canada or not. If you're just researching because you heard about it and you're planning or you want to go here in Canada, sana matulungan kayo nitong video na to para mapag-isipan kung i-go nyo na ba yan or i-dream nyo ba, ilalagay nyo ba yan sa wishlist ninyo na goal nyo in the coming years. But yeah, being here in Canada, for me, it's worth it. Being an international student, we've spent a lot, not just me, well, my family and my partner have spent a lot of money for us to go here. But all I can say is, with being an international student and being here in Canada, okay naman siya. Like, may ROI ang tinatawag nila, like return on investment. Kasi like I'm learning something new, I'm taking a program that I like, I'm seeing my future clear kasi nga parang nagkakaroon ng path to a better life. So, well, I'm wishing everyone whatever it is that you want in the future, like if you want to go here in Canada, maa-advise ko lang, just do your research lang talaga, kasi with knowing all the details, so you can decide properly kung i-go nyo ba or hindi. Being abroad is a challenge, hindi madali, but of course, if you're willing to try, if you're willing to risk, and you're willing to spend, why not, right? Canada is, like what everyone says, it's really nice here. It's cold, but it's really nice. Like, nature pa lang, bawing-bawi na. For me, who is really appreciative with nature, as in, nature pa lang worth it na para sa akin. So, yeah, I hope to see you guys here in Canada. So, because probably, if you're watching this, you're interested in going here in Canada. And yeah, I hope to be able to upload more vlogs about being a student here. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video if you do, and just comment down below whatever you want to say, like any additional comments you want to give to other people who also wants to become an international student here. And subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. I've been mentioning that I want to upload a lot. Hopefully I can do that soon. But yeah, one at a time. Give me some time to edit and I will upload. Kami ni Jello. So, subscribe lang kayo so that you'll get notification or you see our uploads. Salamat sa panonood. See you guys on our next vlog. Bye!